Hi everyone, I'm Tina, the creative guru with Gems, Paper, Scissors, and today I am going to make a fast little card utilizing our Sunshine Vibes suite. I love this suite. It is perfect as we transition from summer into fall. It has some warm yet cool tones. It is stunning and it is filling my life with a lot of joy. And so I wanted to share this. I have 16 cards this month to share with you on this. And they are just super fun. Some are easy, some are harder. They're all fantastic. So I am using the Sunshine Vibes dies. And for this particular one, I used the big rainbow, just the outline, and then several of these different shapes to make the rainbow fun. I have used this so much that my dies are no longer sticking inside my card. So you know that I love this set. And then I'm also using the stylus shapes. You could do this by hand instead of using a die for this, but I really liked the added texture that this provides. I end up cutting off one side, as you will see. All of the dies in this suite work well in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss Machine Mini. If you only have a limited space, this is a great size for that. It lives on my desk, but it does not work for everything. So I just like to pre-warn you, all of this actually does work well on that particular machine. And they're just nice and small. They're 3 inches by up to like 6 inches or something like that. But if you have the full sized die cut and emboss machine, it works great there too. This just happens to fit well on my desk, so it lives there. Okay. So I have pre cut everything, and you will find the measurements in the description. I am also using the stamp set for the sunshine vibes. I've already mounted my stamps on my blocks. We're going to make a sunshine with some rays of happiness. As you may know, our photopolymer stamp sets are clear, so it's really easy to place them how you like them. They just cling onto things, so it's really simple. And then you can place it onto a block. And I know there are quote cheap blocks out there. I really can't recommend the Stampin' Blocks more. They are incredible. They're a nice thickness, they're smooth weight. The blocks are actually smooth, so I find that my stamps adhere better than other brands. I love that I can see what size it is. And in these little grooves, there's little, I call them finger or the digit grooves. It makes it so that if you do a lot of stamping, it's just ergonomically more comfortable. So some other companies, the edges get a little sharp, and I don't like them. I've hurt myself on them. So I really can't say enough good things about these blocks. They are totally worth the investment. If you have a full set, you can stamp everything you have and they just peel up and then you're ready for the next stamp set, right? So everything stores in a much smaller space. Our photopolymer is also latex free. We currently do have some stamps in our cling, which is a red rubber, and that does have latex, but those are phasing out to this photopolymer, which is a much, I love them. I can't, honestly, it's what got me into stamping to begin with. Okay, without further ado, we're going to grab our adhesives and get crafting. I have a basic white card base that I've cut to 8.5 by 5.5. I scored it at the 4 1/4, started to fold it, and then I finished it off by brazing with my bone folder. I love, you don't have to braise it, you don't have to get that crisp, but I love how clean that makes your project instantly feel. Okay, I have some of our designer series paper, our DSP. All of our DSP is two-sided. It is from our um, from our Sunshine Vibes suite. Again, it's beautiful. It's very colorful, great visual textures. I'm going to use our Stampin' Seal. I like the plus because I want my things to last. And it has a little bit more adhesive bang for the buck than the standard Stampin' Seal. So if I have to pick just one, that's the one I pick. So I'm going to tear that to the front. It is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. My next layer is a Cajun Craze. I like using our two-tone cardstock that comes as a 12 by 12. I know a lot of people use our 8 1/2 by 11. I love that as an option, but I have limited space, so I run with exclusively 12 by 12 as a predominant scrapbooker. And I also like the fact that I can have a lighter side instantly. If you have space, obviously go with what makes your heart sing, right? So that is a 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Next is our white, basic white. Now, before I adhere that, I'm going to do some fun things to this. I'm going to get all of it prepped, stamped, inked, all ready to just rock and roll, right? So I have 2 stamps on this because I just didn't feel like, I don't have multiples of any of my blocks. I don't need to. So I am going to stamp the little crescent moon aspect with our Daffodil Delight. Our inks swing out so that our ink is always in storage. Our ink is facing down, so the color is right at the surface, ready to use. Go ahead and ink that up, just like so. And I'm going to pop that right about there. To clean our stamps, you just use a stamp chamois that is dampened with plain water. I cut my stamp chamois into smaller pieces because I have tiny hands. And I also like the fact that when it gets too grungy, I'm not having all of my stamp chamois put away, right? So I keep them in a reusable Ziploc bag. Some people keep them, we have a stamp chamois box case, and I kept misplacing mine, to be honest, in my tiny space. So you just peel that up, open your case, and stick it down. Anytime that the back gets where it's not sticking very well, just rinse it off with clean water at the sink and let it air dry. Simple as that. Now I'm going to also use the Daffodil Delight with the little rays of the sun. Ink that up, line that up, and bam, there's one. And I'm going to actually overlap that like so. Voila. Again, tidy that up. I try and keep my space clean. As you may already be aware, I have a tiny space. My desk is 3 feet wide by 20 inches deep. And so I have a very, very limited space, right? So I find it much easier and less stressful if I just keep my space always tidy. And close up my Daffodil Delight. It clicks shut. You'll see it like that. Easy peasy, ready to put away. Now, I've already cut off one end of my banner. You could use Petal Pink. I'm using some of my scraps that are in that color tone from the DSP. At which point I am going to stamp Hello Darling And just to make it more vibrant, I am using the Cajun Craze. Swing that open, slide it. Most people slide it all the way, but I'm only stamping the sentiment, so it's going to be really fast. So I don't really need it to stay open for an extended period. Then line that up how you want it. Set it down. I don't press hard. I just give it a moment to absorb into the fibers of the paper or medium. Just like so. It has beautiful saturation. And again, see, even the reds, they may stain. It does not adversely affect the stamping quality. So just plain water. How amazing is that? Just like so. My course is synced with the little kids, or somebody is teething. Can you hear her in the background? Okay. So with that, I'm going to bring my rainbow pieces over. As you can see, really nice, crisp, easy cut. And for this, I'm going to use my combo liquid glue. This does have latex, so if that is a challenge for you, I highly recommend our fine tip glue pen, or stick with the tape runners and just keep yourself safe and healthy. Okay, it does not take much adhesive to get this to stay in place. So just dab a little here and there. I'm not even doing every row well, okay, so I am. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to keep this handy because I have all of those little rainbow pieces to adhere. So just like this, I am going to place this down like so. I'm putting it on the edge. Any overflow on this, it's okay. This is going to dry clear. It will not visually affect your layout, okay? So now, as you can see, I have this fun little cut. Some of these did not pop out when I lifted it from my die, so I'm going to quickly pop those out just to finish the look, like so, using my Take Your Pick tool and the larger pokey piece that comes with the original Take Your Pick tool. Then it just stores as easy as can be. Remember to change out your tip. You do a quarter turn. You can have the spatula or any of our accessories available. Now, I could put this directly on the piece, but I am actually going to just plop this in to my groove for my die. And again, any that happen to leak from the openings will dry clear. And how awesome is that? Next, I have some of these really cute little leaves cut out, or vine. And I'm going to use my adhesive real quick. And again, it doesn't take a lot. I'm just adding a little dot here and there. If it dries clear, the cool thing about this particular adhesive is as soon as it goes clear, it is transferable. So you could make your own Post-it notes or repositionable layouts. But if you put it into place and let it dry like this, it becomes permanent adhesive. Adhered. There we go. So just like so. There's a little bit of overlap, but that's fine. Normally I would use my tweezers, but they are in my craft bag in my car from a crafting circle that I do locally. So that's kind of pretty. Next is my Cajun Craze. And again, I'm just going to do this in the groove. So let's go ahead and crank this out really fast, because you're probably going, hey ladies, speed it up. Great thing is playback is adjustable by you. So if I am rambling too much, speed it up. I'm not going to be offended. Yes, I will know because it comes out in my algorithm steps, but I'm not going to be offended. You do you and make this enjoyable and the pace that makes you happy. So as you can see, I used all of these fun shapes from the die set. My fingers are getting sticky from all my adhesive, so hang on. I'm going to tap those down and grab my stamp chamois to wash off real quick. See, multi-purpose. Get all the stickums off my fingers. Okay, now I am going to add this larger heart. I cut out all three. I will now have spares to use in another project. I'll probably use it in scrapbook layout. We'll see. And we're going to just do a little blop right here. Oh, teething babies. That looks fun. Doesn't that finish that off quite nicely? Then I am going to add my sentiment on this cute little banner. And again, you could have cut a rectangle for this and then just done the chevrons with your snips. But I really wanted that extra texture that the fancy dies provide. Now, I could use my tape runner, but I want to elevate this a little bit. So I'm going to use some of our dimensionals that are super fun and easy to use. I use every part of my dimensionals. Okay, so the sheet comes with this border. I use that. I'm a waste not, want not kind of person. I like having some in the middle so that when it goes through the mail, it doesn't divot inside. So this is a great fast way to use up some of those edges. I can't remember the last time I actually bought dimensionals or adhesive, because other than my Stampin' Seal Plus, because these are the leftover sheets. When I get a kit, I always have leftovers. So it is a great way to get going and stock your supplies. Okay, now that that's all proofed up and stamped, we're going to go ahead and place this on top of our Cajun Craze. And now we have this gorgeous card. Hello, darling. I could use some scraps of DSP in here or use a blending aspect to make this pop, but honestly, it's gorgeous as is. I hope you enjoyed today's quick project, and I will be back tomorrow with another card using this suite. Have a great day. Leave a comment, share, and invite people to our Facebook VIP group. Bye for now.